In the Southeast Asia region, which is predominated by India, with the neighboring countries of Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, and Maldives, people living with diabetes have suddenly been locked in, and that has been a challenge. They have had a huge issue in handling this, but I think our people living with diabetes have come out bravely and tried to face it in a very apt way. Apart from managing themselves and taking care of themselves, they had to ensure that they have adequate supplies of medicines, adequate access to healthcare provisions, and handle emergencies which they may face, like acute emergencies like hypoglycemia or diabetic ketoacidosis, as well as some complications like heart attacks and dialysis. And I think our people living with diabetes have risen to the occasion, connected to the healthcare world, and handled this COVID with diabetes very well. Diabetics, being a vulnerable group in our region, have received special attention and special focus, just like hypertensives have and senior citizens have. When we have analyzed the COVID deaths in big cities like Mumbai and Delhi, we have found anywhere between 10 to 30% of people who have died with the COVID disease have been having diabetes. And therefore, we have re-emphasized both in the local media, in the local languages, as well as in the various newspapers, as well as social media, and reached out to them to get better glucose control. And we have tried to ensure that the access, availability, and affordability problem is taken care of. Beyond that, you see the situation, particularly in India, in the major urban cities is pretty grim, but getting better because of the lockdown. And what we had to do is, in some sporadic parts of India, we had to ensure that they get the medicines and their insulins on time. Similar situations were seen also in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal. Maldives were having challenges with their funding, and Mauritius, among all the region group, was probably the most self-sufficient in the lockdown period. Programs to reach out for the doctors among the medical associations as well as patients. Now remember, diabetes is a vulnerable group when COVID is coming up. And because it is a vulnerable group when COVID is coming up, what we have tried to do is, we are looking at identifying diabetic patients who are particularly hypertensive, who have heart disease, who have asthma or COPD, and who are elderly. And we have called them the very vulnerable group. And we have particularly told them to stay home, stay safe, stay clean, because we know that diabetics have faltered immunity, and particularly if they are elderly and they have coexisting with diabetes, the twin epidemic of hypertension, then it is a challenge. Care professionals who have been involved in taking care of people living with diabetes have been under a lot of strain and distress because of the COVID epidemic, the lockdown. At one end, they have to manage the people living with diabetes from their houses which are locked in. They have to ensure that they comply with diet, exercise, and various medications which they are taking, and ensuring that they get optimal glycemic control. Because we all know that in this epidemic, management of people living with diabetes is crucial for outcomes and better outcomes. So that is something which we have all understood. You know that we have one of the largest burden of diabetes, and we are probably the second largest region and the second largest country in the world with people living with diabetes. And we also have a very large proportion of our people with type 1 diabetes as well as gestational diabetes. And all these people living with diabetes had some challenges or the other, and we have tried our best to allay their anxiety, allay their fears, and tried our best to see that they feel good in this locked-in situation where they have to take care of themselves and stay connected with the healthcare providers in a digital way. Care providers or diabetes specialists, endocrinologists, dietitians, diabetes educators, and nurses have been locked in. Some of them who have been working in hospital setups have been called for duties which are non-diabetic and COVID-like duties. For example, many of us have volunteered to go into the community to serve them as COVID warriors or COVID task force holders. So in general, the people who are taking care of people living with diabetes have to ensure that they go back into telehealth, telecommunications, and people who are working in hospitalized setups across the full geography have been partially pulled in for resource limited situations into various healthcare facilities where COVID care is being given. We also know that in the ICU setups, a lot of hyperglycemia with COVID is occurring, and that also is being managed many a times by the healthcare professionals who are taking care of diabetes. The vulnerable group in this COVID epidemic are senior citizens, diabetics, hypertensives, obese, and renal disease. And particularly, the healthcare professionals looking after people with diabetes have been focused their energies now in taking care of that vulnerable group, particularly in the pre-hospital stage, and have been involved very actively in counseling, guidance, and screening in the pre-COVID or the asymptomatic as well as the pre-symptomatic period of COVID. And that is where they have been utilized, apart from ensuring that they give care to their diabetic patients who are there in their databases, who are accessing them through telemedicine. You should also understand that a lot of our healthcare staff has been beyond their call of duty, apart from COVID care, have been ensuring that the care of people living with diabetes and ensuring that they get appropriate supplies has also been one of their mandates. All our associations also are trying to do their best through various methods, and we have been trying to use telemedicine, digitalization, communications through mobile phones, including WhatsApp and various other applications, so that we can have better access. So remote access to resource limited and remote geographies has been another challenge for people living with diabetes. And I think all our healthcare workers, including doctors as well as educators, have risen to the occasion. Southeast Asia region, particularly the Indian government and all the neighboring governments, have risen up to the occasion and handled the situation as a public health emergency. They have not only locked in, ensured that people stay safe at home, but have done a lot of education in terms of sanitization, cleanliness, and overall health and well-being. Appropriate screening strategies, appropriate care for COVID has been done, as well as for non-COVID diseases, including dialysis, as well as complications related to people living with diabetes, like heart care, foot care, dialysis care. All that also has been addressed by public health authorities so that no major catastrophe can occur for non-COVID care. When there is a pandemic like COVID-19, civil society, associations, public health authorities, everybody rise to the occasion. And I think we have seen an excellent partnership between various trade associations, pharmaceutical industry, as well as medical and healthcare associations, as a perfect role of public and private partnership, as well as a very good, fruitful partnership between pharmaceutical industry, as well as the government and healthcare associations. What has happened is they have participated in a big way in terms of education, in terms of access to medicines, in terms of access to reaching out to people living with diabetes so that they get their supplies, and establishing helplines and teleconnect with people who are living with diabetes who need emergency supplies. And all this was seen very well in our geographies, whether it was Sri Lanka, whether it was Maldives, whether it was India, or various other countries which are there in our region. COVID epidemic has some analogies to the HIV epidemic. And what happens is, when you get a communicable disease, it actually hogs the limelight, and it actually puts silent diseases like diabetes on the back burner. Though every 6 or 7 seconds a diabetic dies, which is nothing compared to people which will die because of corona, I think diabetes got a backseat. And therefore, as we will see a new world order after this pandemic is taken care of, we will definitely have a new normal. We will see distancing, we will see digital world, we will see virtual conferences in a much bigger way. We will see working from home as a new normal. We will see digital chronic care models of health as a different world altogether. And we'll also see a more connected world. I think when there was a normal world, which was not virtual, it was a very physical world where a lot of communication happened person to person. That now will get replaced by a virtual world in a virtual village, and world will become a global village through a virtual reality. And that is going to be the new normal in the post-COVID era. And diabetes overall, I feel, will benefit because we will be able to make a larger impact to people living with diabetes in a much better way. As we head for a prolonged lockdown, people living with diabetes need to ensure that they stay happy, they smile, they are positive in their mindset, they do some yoga, they do some mindfulness, listen to music, do some physical activity at home, de-addict themselves, and also remember, do not get carried away by sensory overload. Try to do a digital detox for maybe 2 hours where you don't see any screen, any WhatsApp on the mobile or any television screen. All this will help you to handle coro anxiety better, your diabetes better, and please stay connected with your healthcare provider. Remember, at the end of the day, we want you to be living happily with your disease and conquer it well. And I'm sure this will give you an opportunity to handle it well.